All right, we're gonna roll with this. Hey, what's up? What's up, fam? Here today on Toll Booth Games, I decided I'd do something a little different. I wanted to go through the one of the new hero talent trees that we got this past week. As many of you know, if you've been following along on this channel, I've been playing Fury Warrior. I consider myself at least somewhat smart when it comes to how to DPS with a Fury Warrior. So today I'm going to take a look at the tree. This tree, this Slayer, is for Arms and Fury. I'm going to be kind of looking at it mostly from a Fury perspective because that's what I have most experience with. So diving right in, very first one, Slayer's Dominance. Your attacks have a high chance to overwhelm your target's defensive and trigger a Slayer's Strike. Dealing low damage, fun, and applying Marked for Execution, increasing the damage they take from your next execute by 10%. Okay. So it's basically just increasing damage of execute. I do notice also that the bottom node is the execute symbol, so we'll get there. We're not going to look at it quite yet. We're going to go down the left and work our way down. So imminent demise. Sudden death's chance to reset the cooldown of execute and make it usable on any target regardless if health is increased. Doesn't say how much. Just increased. I'm sure they don't know yet. Using sudden death accelerates your next blade storm, striking one additional time. Okay. Total duration is unchanged. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm assuming blade storm is going to be good. You deal 50%. Oh, you heal. I mean, that's just more. If Fury Warriors keep their defensives and their healing, I mean, this is just even more. Hell yeah. Slay, you warriors. Marked for Execution increases the critical strike chance and critical strike damage of your next execute. So this is just... And that's what Marked for Execution. So it increases the damage they take by 10% up to 30%. Marked for increases the critical strike chance and critical strike damage. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm assuming it's 10%, 20%, 30% up here. And then increased chance for a critical strike and the damage is increased of that crit by 5%. I mean, you could have some massive executes. Unrelenting Onslaught. When you execute a target that you've marked for execution, reduce the cooldown of Blade Storm by 5 seconds per stack and apply stacks of Overwhelmed equal to the number of stacks of Marked for Execution. Okay. What's the cooldown on Blade Storm? Is it 90 seconds? 2 minutes? The only thing that I worry about is if you want Blade Storm to line up with whatever other cooldown. I don't know if you're going to be okay enough to just smash Blade Storm whenever it's up. That's kind of my only worry about this. Going down the left, I mean, that looks fine. That looks pretty good. Moving on to the middle. Each strike of Blade Storm applies Overwhelmed. Does it? Okay. Applies Overwhelmed to all enemies affected. Probably pretty good for AoE, increasing damage taken by 1% for 10 seconds. It's just one stack, 1%. Fury will have access to Bladestorm via specialization talents in the War Within. That's what I was assuming. Thank you for putting in that dev note. I don't know, just 1%, a 1% increase for 10 seconds. I suppose if it's AoE, it might be worth it. What, this is probably going to be the defensive. Slayer's reflexes have a chance to reset the cooldown of Bloodthirst and Overpower. Alright, cooldown of Overpower reduced by 10%. Cooldown of Bloodthirst reduced. So, yeah, I was going to say, as the name suggests, constant pressure is just general overall DPS. Slayer's reflexes is going to give you kind of that reactionary, almost chain reaction. You're going to have a few procs. I wonder, 10%. What's the cooldown of Overpower? Isn't it like 3-4 seconds? Okay. Constant pressure would probably be easier to play. Slayer's reflexes might be kind of fun. Frenetic Flurry, Overpower, arms, and Bloodthirst have a chance to cause you to unleash a brief Blade Storm, striking all enemies around you once. You can now use Pummel and Stormbolt. Okay. I honestly, like, the way I see it, this is for raiding, because you can get sudden death procs and you can really up your execute. This is all Bladestorm, right? Like, Bladestorm, you can get just a random Bladestorm every now and then. I'm really interested to see how brief is brief, you know? That's the key word there. If it's, if you hit Bloodthirst, I'm talking again as a Fury Warrior. If you hit Bloodthirst and you suddenly channel a 2-second Bladestorm, you're missing out on a couple of GCDs. So that's gonna feel weird, not being planned. You can move while blade storming, I think. So that won't be quite as bad. And then again, just to remind myself what this is, when you execute a target. So this gives it marked for execution. This applies the stacks of Overwhelmed. But if Overwhelmed is only if it's 1% for 10 seconds, and you go down here and you can apply stacks of Overwhelmed for up to 3, I'm sure it'd be 3% for each strike of Blade Storm. Oh, each strike of Blade Storm applies Overwhelmed to all enemies. So Blade Storm will hit, 3-4 times? I wonder if you can pair these together and hit it an extra time. Gives it an extra stack of Overwhelmed. Okay. I don't hate this. This definitely seems like if you want Mythic Plus, you're gonna go straight down the middle and maybe take this one if you can. Charge removes all movement and pairing effects. Is this going to be PvP? Because this already looks like PvP. Charge removes all movement and pairing effects. Grants you 70% movement speed. Heroic Leap reduces the cooldown of Charge by 5 seconds. Charge reduces the cooldown of Heroic Leap by 5 seconds. Just movement. Cool. Tunnel Vision. Auto attack speed increases while you are in combat. Changing target resets the effect. Okay. With Thrill of the kill. Execute increases your auto attack speed for 10 seconds. I'm interested. Obviously, like, your auto attack speed increases while you are in combat. That needs to be rewritten. Your auto attack, it's not like your auto attack speed is going to get faster while you're out of combat. That doesn't make any sense. Of course it's going to be while you're in. Does it increase more the longer that I'm in combat? Obviously, there's a cap, right? You know, if you have a 10-minute boss fight, you're not just going to go faster and faster and faster and faster, faster, and then, you know, by the end you're getting 10 hits per second. That'd be pretty wild, but that's not what's going to happen. This, I don't know, both of these seem very boring. I'm just going to go say that it sounds boring, but it sounds easy. You know, if someone doesn't want to actively think about the rotation or change whatever, you know, that's easy enough. Overpower, bloodthirst, damage increased by 10%. Easy, simple. I mean, these two seem pretty good. I think the one on the right might be PvP. If you PvP, especially as Fury or Arms, excuse me, let me know. Let me know if that sounds right, that this might be PvP. But I mean, this seems like, hey, we got some good ideas. We want to throw these out here, over here. And then over here, like, the intern came up with this and no one had anything else. And I mean, it sounds kind of bad to say, but I feel like that's what it feels like. It feels like what's on the right is just trash. Over here, all right, pretty good. I could see any of these being viable. I think, yeah, my only concern is Blade Storm. How long is the cooldown? Does it align with other cooldowns? And if so, even if the cooldown of Blade Storm reduces by 5 seconds per stack, as this says, is it going to be worth it, or are we just going to be holding our Blade Storms? That's my only concern. Other than that, I think the left is pretty solid, especially for single target. You know, you'll probably want to do this in raids. They seem like they're really building up Blade Storm. So I'm hoping Blade Storm is good kind of on its own. So you actually want to take it. This middle section is basically reliant on Blade Storm. So that's why I want it. I don't want to take Blade Storm just because my hero talents are focused on it. I want Blade Storm to be good, and I want these to make them even better. And then this is just trash. No one's going to touch this, except for very niche cases. Maybe I could see like taking Vicious Agility for a high movement raid fight. I could see it. But other than that, you're going to be sticking to the left, you're going to be sticking to the middle. And I think you're going to be pretty happy if you're for your Fury Warrior, Arms Warrior even. I think you're going to be pretty happy. So I'll leave it at that. Tell me what y'all think down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and follow, subscribe, whatever it's called here on YouTube. And you'll see more videos like this one in the future soon. Thank you for watching. Deuces.